Nani?
Hello and welcome everyone. Today I got something a little bit different than what I normally post. If you look at my channel, you can tell that I post a lot of gaming stuff, but today, well, I got the first episode of our new podcast that we are starting. Right now it doesn't have a name yet, so that's been a work in progress, but yeah. Basically, this is a podcast where each one of us, me, Prince, and Jose, pick a topic for the week, or every other week, since I'm planning to start this off at least bi-weekly, every other week, and then maybe transfer it to weekly once we get more into it. But we discuss said topics, usually about 3, while playing different games. And these games can include, like, Minecraft, we can do some Ark Survival Evolved, maybe some Uno here and there. We got Uno recently. And Save the World's also an option. The other Fortnite game mode, if you didn't know, since Battle Royale is literally taking over everything. But yeah, basically we discuss topics while playing games that don't require a lot of concentration. So the Battle Royale version of Fortnite, or oh, for God's sake, okay, that's gone. Or Apex Legends, for example. They would we wouldn't be doing our podcast while playing those, since they take up too much concentration. You basically got to concentrate almost entirely on the game to play either of those. So, but yeah, like I said, I want to do this at least bi-weekly, every other week, and then eventually I'd like to get it to weekly, which may even start soon. Also, and also if like maybe like that every other week for now, I want to post like an edited excerpt of the podcast, so a much heavier edited. Like for right now, the podcasts aren't really going to be edited much. This can be cut down audio wise and visual wise. But I would like to post some more visually edited ones every other week, or maybe even the same week. Who knows? But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you want to see more of this after you finish listening, please leave a like and also subscribe too. That would help a lot. And yeah, see you guys in the next podcast. Also, if you have any name suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. That would that'd be helpful. All right, enjoy the podcast.
So you said your topic was on why Fortnite isn't fun anymore?
Basically, yeah.
Let's see. Let me think about this one.
Like at least for the first part of like why don't we consider Fortnite fun at the moment?
For Battle Royale or Save the World?
We'll do Battle Royale first. Maybe we can do Save the World after we talk about Battle Royale for a little bit.
Alright.
The reason I don't think it's fun anymore, I mean, I think it's still pretty fun, but the reason it wasn't, it's not as fun as it was, like when it first started off, is because like when I first started, like I remember like me and Prince playing back in the old days, and like I didn't even build for like nothing. I just kept like shooting them. That's how I thought, like, I don't know, like, I guess Battle Royale games.
It was meant to be played, basically.
Yeah, and that was it called then. And then building came in. Oh my god, dude! When I built back then, it was so bad. Like if I could get a video of back then with Prince, I don't know how we won sometimes. Honestly, like I remember winning sometimes, but dude, it was such a struggle. And then that was season 2, right? It first started off. Yeah, season 2.
I guess when season 3. That's when I first started getting on, right?
Yeah, and then season 3 was with John Wick. John Wick
and stuff. Like that's the season right before the meteor came down.
Yeah, that's when it started getting harder for me. It's like no.
Yeah, no, same.
But then they did release that one controllers for us, like the what is it called?
Well, Builder Pro, wasn't it? The the controller settings and stuff.
Yeah, and that came out, and it was like so much easier. But then, like, I don't know, like I thought it was pretty fun when they had like the siphon thing going on, but
with the health v kill.
Yes, like I thought it was pretty fun, but then at that, like I feel like they should add it though. Like
I feel like they should at least add it back to Team Rumble. I feel like it'd be a lot better in Team Rumble, but I kind of get why. I get why streamers definitely want it back, because it makes better content for them, basically, because they can.
That is true.
Go extremely aggressive with it and not have that much fear of any repercussions. I think it's really why Fortnite kind of rooted, because they wanted to have some kind of repercussions still for being too aggressive.
But think about it, now if they do add it though, like they kind of like fixed it because they have the respawn ban now.
Yeah, so they probably could now.
But the thing is, like, if they did add it and like your team didn't survive, then that's when everybody's gonna be all mad. Like,
Yeah.
The problem I find with the stuff like that is that it's too different to what the normal game usually is. It's like it was like adding glider redeploy and then taking it away. It changed the game like twice in two very different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we all got like they left it long enough just for us to get really comfortable with it, and we're like really like okay, this is nice. And then they just got, and then it's like okay, our testing's done, and it got rid of it. And it was like,
yeah, that's
well,
the thing that's
what
kind
do
of
we do
annoying
now?
with that. Yeah, it's like why even add it if you're gonna take it away? Just leave it.
Yeah, like if we're getting comfortable with, and I do miss OG glider redeploy, like before it was an item.
Yes,
Because it was the gliding was actually a lot faster. It was like basically the same gliding height as like gliding speed as like normal, like when you're jumping out of the bus gliding speed.
Yeah,
But but now they nerfed it severely, so it's a lot slower than it usually used to be. And of course now it's an item, which I'm not the biggest fan of, especially in Team Rumble.
yeah, that's what's kind of dumb about it. It's like they should have just left it as is. I mean, they have like now that they have what arena mode, but I mean, I don't know. It's just the same like as it was like when they had like everything going on. It's like you get to like get your health back and all, but it's like.
And remember we played that too, and it was like it was so sweaty.
Yes, it was. It's like no, I don't even want to do it no more.
I think that's a problem too, because I kind of noticed like a lot of YouTubers like doing this. Like they ask their people on Twitter like, what do you guys do? Do you play like solos? Like how do you bear it? It's like a lot of the responses were just we don't play solos. Everyone plays in Team Rumble just because no one wants to deal with the sweatiness that is solos, duos, or squads.
Yes. And that's like how I feel too. Like when I do a solo, like honestly, it's like super rare. And when I end up winning one, it's like I don't know. It's because like majority of the players like I play with are not as good. Yeah, like they're really bad. So it's like I get really lucky. So it's like when I get a win on solo, it's like holy cow, like I pull that out of luck. But sometimes I do encounter like tryhards, and I end up like killing them because like I weasel my way out of it. Like I fall down and I just like camp and I wait for them to like do their thing with their builds, and I just wait and I end up like killing them.
Or you get that lucky shotgun shot to the head.
Yes, or like the heavy sniper that helps out a lot in solos versus those guys. Because it's like if they try to build a ramp, you just shoot it down and then just spray them. But even then, it's like I don't really want to like how do you say fall back on a gun to like help me out like every time against a builder pro.
Yeah. Because I don't think I've won like a true legit solo game since the day the heavy shotgun came out. Like that very first day. I don't think I've won a solo game since then.
Yeah, it's really difficult right now.
Like I've tried recently to try and get a solo win, but I can maybe get top 10, but that's when all the sweaties are alive and I can't combat that.
Yeah, and especially now because since they're starting to do that little new meta where like they box themselves and like
the turtling, yeah.
Up. Yes, that is really
that's something they need to nerf somehow. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how they can nerf it, but they need to.
Yeah, they do need to nerf that because we even saw it today when we played. We saw freaking people with shotgun like turtling themselves up. It's like, what are you guys doing? It's like close encountered, but I don't know. It is annoying though having that now.
I think the thing is
maybe
like you, Prince. You got Prince. You haven't said anything yet.
I haven't said. I'm so sad. I mean, they could like lower the building, like the health of the buildings. Probably that might help, so that way you can't.
Yeah, it's easier to shoot through.
That is true.
Oh no!
Like at least the pyramid. You think? Like, do you think that would help it? Like, at least nerfing that.
Yeah,
like the pyramid on top of it or something.
Oh no! Whatever. I feel like if you're like good at editing and then quickly building, then you can counter it too, because they can't. If you put a building down as they're building it, and then you can just make a window and kill them. I think that's what people usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like today people are too reliant on the shotgun meta. It's like having a shotgun and then build back. Like I feel like no one tries to do long range anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always like
I mean-
I always like triple wall ramp over there and just like rush and shotgun them.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That's what I do. Every time I go into a game, like honestly, I just go. I find a submachine. What else do I get? A submachine and a shotgun and some minis, and I'm set to go. Like I don't worry about anything else. That's like the way it is now. It's like every time you encounter somebody, it's either you get shotgun and then SMG'd, and then it's like it's all bad.
Yeah. No one likes to use snipers or even kind of ARs at this point because everyone wants to use an SMG shotgun combo. It used to be the Deagle and the Deagle combo with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Before they nerfed that and made it so that you couldn't one shot a wooden wall with a Deagle.
And even then, like another reason is like I don't really like using like ARs is because also they keep like switching out their guns every time. It's like remember when the heavy pump came out with that heavy shotgun, and then they took it out and then they put a new one in. It's like they keep changing, like the AKs for example.
Yeah,
like, it's like really like why y'all taking it out? I was barely getting used to it. Like I was getting good with it, and then they took it out and put it in something. And it's like, oh come on now. Like at least leave it in and like at least have like another AK or something. Not take it out completely.
I feel like another problem is items change too much. Like
Yeah.
nothing's really that consistent.
It's always changing.
Like I feel like the AK when it was legendary used to actually be good, like a good item, but now it's gray, green, and blue. And I don't feel like it's that good anymore.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like the tac shotgun where they changed it, like where they didn't change any of the stats. They just lowered the thing. They actually lowered the stats and stuff on the AK, which sucks.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like I like Fortnite, like, because it is fun. Sometimes, like when I think about playing like Apex and Fortnite, it's like I would definitely choose Fortnite because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's like
I feel like Apex started out sweaty.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like all sweats.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like Fortnite. Like it's fun because like they have that element that Apex don't have, and it's like that building. Like when you get shot, like when we're like when we're like in the open, and we're like trying to find cover and we can't. But in Fortnite, if you wanted to do cover, you could do cover.
Yeah.
Which is
But I feel like
nice.
it's a double-edged sword too, because building has become
Oh yeah.
a bane in the existence of every Fortnite player who's not a pro. You know where I think Fortnite really began to change though?
Is there?
You remember way back that first post that they made that they were going to put a bunch of money into like a competitive and tournaments and stuff, like when the Summer Royale and all that started.
Yeah.
And like everyone was like, "Oh yes, they're putting a bunch of money back into the community," and everyone was like, "Oh, this is great." Honestly, I feel like at that point before, it used to be more of a game where you could just get on, hang out with friends, you know, just kind of play. But at that point is when it began to become sweaty because everyone was like, "Ooh, I can try and win some money here."
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like and that's what I think when everything started, all the sweatiness, the try hard, if you will, the TTVs.
Yeah.
That's when all that began. Was when they started doing the tournaments and stuff and competitive and all that.
That is true. I feel like that's what kind of ruined it. And then they had like all these like streamers like competing against each other, and everyone wanted to be the best. Like, I remember like when a point where like even like they're talking about like Myth being like better than Ninja. That's when I know like oh, like Myth better than Ninja, and he started growing popular, and then boom, he's here now, one of the best supposedly.
Yeah, I feel like it was at that point that the game became not so much play for fun, and meant more play for, you know, being try hard at it to get the game.
Yeah. Like I remember like getting on, I'll be like, oh yeah, like it's about to like get on and meet some squads or be some duos, but then it started changing more and more.
Yeah, because like I kind of noticed it around too, like around that time when the like you look at like a bunch of like YouTube videos around that time, like what they used to be like. You see all like the meme strats, like you got the Sky Bridge,
Yeah.
Like hiding against a bush the entire game. It was like, I feel like it didn't used to be like kill based. It used to be more just kind of like, what's the stupidest and like most dumb thing we can do in this game.
Yes.
And then it became, oh, to have a good video, you gotta get like at least 20 kills per, like 20 kills per game, and you get a win.
Yeah. Like back then, remember? Like I remember, like I don't know if you guys remember, but like when we used to play like us, like the whole squad playing, and then back then it wasn't even like building. Like nobody like was like aggressive. Like remember?
Oh yeah, I
we used to
remember.
build,
We used to like we could sit there and just build something.
Yeah, like we were just like camping in our base. We were just waiting for the other team to rush us, and we just like start attacking them. That's how it was back then. Like nobody was like going after us, like building like crazy. Now it's like you shoot at somebody and then they start rushing you, jump padding towards you, drifting towards you. And it's like, oh no, what do we do? Yeah. That's when we had to build it against them. It's like really.
And then like I think before too, like you see someone just kind of if you saw someone just kind of memeing around, just kind of having fun, you just kind of left them be.
Yeah.
But now it's like the full attitude is you see someone, you kill them. Doesn't matter what they're doing. Doesn't matter if they're harmless. They're not going to hurt you. You kill them because you want those kills. I feel like that's how we used to be. We just kind of like just meme around, do whatever we wanted and not have to really worry all that much about being destroyed.
Bottom line is just it's not for casual gamers anymore. I guess.
Yeah. And I always see
you
people.
want
We had to all start talking there at once.
Here you go.
All right, Prince, you didn't talk much. You go with your thing.
That was pretty much it. That's all I was gonna say. Just.
All right, what were you saying?
I want to say, like, pretty much if you want to do like casual gaming, like just hanging out with friends and playing for fun, I guess you could do like playground mode or creative mode,
and like the cool maps and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, it's like it's not meant for like it's not the same. Like if you play like with like squads or like anything like that, it's like different now.
I was
Kinda
playing
sucks.
the getaway mode when that was back, like when you do like we were and I was trying to do the challenges of getting like all that stuff, and like there was this kid, he was like younger than I was, he's probably 12 or 13, and he was like pulling out like 12 kills like that game, and it was like insane. It was like you could tell he played this game way too much. Like he played this game constantly, and like. I always notice, like when I see on Reddit and stuff, like the like they're always complaining because like items like when the boombox came out, they're all complaining like Epic's trying to close the skill gap between casuals and pros, and it's like, well, yeah, because they're driving away other people because of that, because it's become too competitive and too difficult of a game to learn.
Exactly.
I feel like the same kind of happened with Overwatch too, because of how with their insistence on like going to like full esports, basically. They drove away. From what it sounds like, they drove away a lot of their casual players.
Yeah, because Overwatch was so different back then. Like now it's like I don't know, toxic. I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
Like really toxic.
Like, and Fortnite's become very toxic too, especially like Reddit and Twitter and all that stuff. It's so toxic right now.
Yeah, it's bad right now with it, but I mean it is fun. But like, I mean like when game modes come out, like one shot or like
The Thanos LTM.
yeah, it's like stuff like that. But now it's like not so much unless you play like Team Rumble with your friend and just goof around in there, I guess.
Even then, I've kind of noticed that Team Rumble's starting to become a lot more sweaty too.
Yeah,
I think everyone's starting to move in there because no one's been solos anymore. Because who wants to play solos?
No one.
No one.
Like even I don't play solos unless I absolutely have to. I'll
like I said,
always be on Team Rumble doing challenges or whatever the LTM is at the moment that I can do. Back then, videos. Wait, what? What were you saying, Prince?
Oh, never mind.
Like you look at videos back then too, like when a new item came out, and before it wasn't like how do we get like now it's like how do we get like a ton of kills with this weapon? Like how do I get like 20 kills with the boom bow, for example? But I feel like it used to be like how do we meme this weapon? How do we make a meme out of this thing? How do we do like some kind of weird funny thing with it? So do you guys think it's possible that I could ever get back to that point, or is it too late now?
Like, if all the hype around it dies slowly, like, maybe, but I don't think it's gonna happen, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, like if the new game takes over or something, like to the point where Fortnite actually does become irrelevant.
Yeah, I think it's gonna probably be a while before people get really, really tired of it.
Like, unless they do like something really dumb and they drive away all the whole fan base, probably go away.
But I feel like it's still gonna be really hard. Like, they'd have to do something like super, like the craziest,
like removing buildings
thing in the world.
Like just straight up moving building. Period.
Oh no, that might save them. We don't know. We don't know.
That is true. Because I think about it, like I told Tony, like if they removed building, like what do you think they would do? Like you know, like the mountain and stuff like that. Would they like add like balloons, like how Apex does it, like around the map?
Like the zip lines, basically.
Yeah, like to get like more mobility that way. You think, or do you think they'll just like add more like jump pads around the map, or I don't know, like because if they did, that would be interesting, like an interesting game mode.
Yeah, I feel like stuff like balloons would be a lot more consistent spawn.
Yeah,
like anything that gives mobility, like they probably add like all vehicles to 100% spawn rate, like back again. And I don't know why they always nerf vehicle spawn rates. It's like, why? Why can't you just leave the vehicles as they are? I mean, they're not hurting anyone when they're not like planes where they could actually kill people.
Yeah.
Especially since they removed the ability for hamster balls to do damage.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah. Yeah, like planes, I could see them like working on that one, but like hamster balls, really, I couldn't even kill somebody with that one. It was so hard.
No, they do so minuscule damage.
Yeah.
Like, what was your like whole complaint about it? Like that it does damage and it shouldn't do? Yeah, the balls.
The baller, what they're complaining about with the ballers is that that's what everyone is basically in the end game. Because like you know how it like scrims and stuff, how like they're not really trying to kill each other at the end. They're just trying to survive and like basically do like heal offs nowadays.
Yeah.
Basically, that's like what it is. Where they're like, it makes it really easy to stay alive, and that's why people are. Well, not people, the pros and like competitive people were complaining about it.
Yeah.
Because it made it a lot easier to like survive in the end game. I feel like the pros too ruin a lot of stuff like that.
Oh yes, because they have like an input like over like us casual gamers. They're like, oh, they don't like it, I will take it out then. Have like a big influence because they know, like, you know, like if Ninja says something, I mean they haven't done it yet, but when he was complaining about siphoning and all that, and he wanted it back, like they didn't add it or anything like that, but I mean he still has like a voice, and like once they know one of their popular streamers don't like it, and imagine he stops playing it, he's like, oh, he tells his followers don't play it no more because of this. I mean, it depends like on how loyal his fan base is too, I guess.
Yeah.
I think they've kind of stopped listening to people like that now, though.
Yeah.
I think they may be kind of thinking, you know what? I think we're giving these people like too much control over our game, basically. Because like I think they like, for example, the OG Skull Trooper thing, like the purple one for people who had it back when Fortnite first came out.
Yeah.
You can tell they really regretted doing that.
Oh
like,
yes.
Because you notice they didn't do it with like they didn't do it with the any of the Christmas skins. Like the Skull Trooper has been the only one to do that so far, but any other OG skins they haven't done it with again. They haven't had like an OG style with it.
Yeah.
I feel like they think they royally messed up by kind of indulging that OG thing.
Yeah.
I think another problem with the game is that there's this OG mentality around it.
Yeah.
Which I hate. Like,
I
just hate that OG mentality. It's just so bad.
Yeah. It's like, if y'all gonna give it to, like, if you're gonna do that, like, at least give it to the people that have been playing since day one, like, not based on, like...
Not based on if you've already had it before.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
based on your like your game, like how long you've been playing, like your account level, whatever. I guess you could say, or like you know, like to go back on it, like oh, this guy's been playing since like season 2. Give it to him, you know, like that, like that. That would be more fair, like in my opinion, because I mean, me and Prince have been playing. And I got the Skull Trooper, but I don't get the purple like on it.
Yeah, I was around when the Skull Trooper first came out.
And you were around too, so it's like that's not fair.
It's like
Yeah, that is a problem right there. They did with that.
It's dirty.
Did us dirty. I feel like my topic's easy. Like I said, like it's like, how do you say it? Like if consoles are gonna be able to keep up, like
with
if they're gonna be able to produce more like stronger hardware, I guess. Like you know how they have the Xbox One Pro or X, whatever, the Scorpion, whatever, and have the
Xbox One
PS4
X.
Pro. Like they'll be able to keep like producing them like later on in the future. Because I know it's expensive to make those and then they sell them for more too, like freaking 600 or like even more. It's like at what point is the consumer gonna be like, nah? Unless they like stop like making it powerful and keep it at they cap it off, I guess you could say, and they're like, okay, we can't go anywhere like higher than this because it's too expensive to produce, and they could just I guess do normal 60 frames per second. I mean, what do you guys think though? Like overall.
I mean, I guess I don't know too much about like the productions and kind of like the costs around it, but I usually know like since they buy in such a bulk that they can get items for a lot cheaper than they actually are, and that's how they kind of maintain it also, and they can also increase the price, of course. But I still feel like they probably make a good amount of profit off of the stuff that they're putting into the console already. If you think about it, I'm pretty sure it's pretty cheap nowadays, especially with today's technology and you know everything advancing. Like everything's becoming more compact and easier to put together. Like you've seen, like the old Xbox used to be gigantic, and now like the newer ones are like smaller and smaller.
yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I don't know.
And I feel like exclusives are gonna be like their main thing though. Like right now with PlayStation 4, like we got what Days Gone coming up in like 2 weeks, I think, a zombie game.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like that's what PS4 has going for them right now is the exclusives. Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
yeah. God of War, yeah. A lot of good exclusives.
But then you look at Microsoft and you have Halo, but I mean that's coming to PC. Well, Infinite's coming to PC too.
Yeah, Infinite's coming to PC.
So it's like what exclusives do they have to compete against PS4? It's like they don't have much that I know of.
I feel like
I can't think
PS4
of a
deals
lot.
more indie exclusives than like Microsoft or even like Xbox Switch or something like that does. Because like you always notice like with like all the Call of Duty games, they always get like the any betas or like DLCs like a week early, or like even a month early at times, or they're the ones that keep getting more and more packs, like skin packs for Fortnite.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
I feel like they get more like the exclusive stuff, and I feel like really right now Microsoft goes more for hardware than PlayStation does.
I think so.
I think the Xbox One X is quite powerful. It's a pretty powerful console.
But like I feel like where did they mess up on? Like was it was cause I remember when it was E3 and they were talking about the Xbox One and they're like talking about making it online.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah. I remember
this.
Yeah. So pretty much, I guess what they wanted to do is like you have to buy online in order to even like run your games or something like that.
Oh, do like the Xbox Gold thing?
Yeah, like you have to have it in order to play even a video game you bought, or like, and you have to start downloading it from their website. They're like trying to get rid of CDs and things like that.
So they wanted to go like straight digital, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I remember it being something along those lines.
Yeah, I remember that's honestly like that's the whole reason I didn't even get an Xbox because of that. And I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna get a PS4.
Yeah.
I got a PS4, and actually, honestly, for some of the exclusives, because around like I think like 2015-ish, there was a Godzilla game that came out that I wanted, but it was only exclusive to PC, or not PC, to PlayStation. So I thought,
Oh, okay.
I'd I'd like to get a PlayStation because there are other games I wanted that I could play on there too.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of like the same, but I guess like my situation was like I had friends that had either a PlayStation or Xbox. So if I ever want to play a PlayStation game, I would just go to their house.
That's true. Yeah, because my cousin used to have a PS4. I think he still does. He does now. Like the one I was telling you about last night. He's weird. He like sometimes he'll sell them and go back and forth between them. Like he'll like sell his what's it called, his Xbox, and then buy a PlayStation with it or something like that. It's just like kind of frustrating me because I think as soon as I bought a PlayStation, he sold his and got an Xbox for it. I wonder if, like, instead of trying to keep up with doing consoles, I wonder if they'll start trying to make try and make their own PCs, like a PlayStation PC, basically. Like they actually tried to do that. Instead of trying to make people with consoles make their own PCs and like powerful PCs and stuff with their own like.
That is true.
Graphic stuff.
That would be interesting to see, though. Honestly, like thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like a PlayStation PC or something, whatever they would call it, or like an Xbox PC, or maybe even I can maybe possibly see like a Nintendo PC. Like they could like make specific stuff for it that like they can sell to upgrade it.
Yes.
Like their own specialized like graphics cards and all that stuff like that.
That would be so interesting to see though. Like if they actually did that. Can you imagine like how like awesome that would be?
Yeah. Then that way they kind of still keep up with the with PC stuff, but with literally their own PCs.
Yeah.
Or that, or I think people are starting to just go more towards PCs than towards consoles. Just because you can get like the better performance and better like software, like graphics and all that stuff, like higher FPS. Because it's like I feel like a lot of consoles, like I always see this complaint for Fortnite, where it's like they have the FPS locked, basically, like it can't go above or below a certain point. Like it's like 30 FPS, or like they've only recently started getting stuff up like 60 FPS, but so you can kind of tell like how much they're more limited than PCs are, where you can get like 1,000 frames per second with the PC, but not with a console.
Yeah, because I don't know, like if you play like PlayStation, like you load in, but nothing has loaded in yet, and it's
oh yeah, it's like the unloaded textures.
Yes, and it's so annoying.
That will happen sometimes on PC, but it's not that often.
Yeah.
Because like you look like it Saved the World, and on Xbox it's completely broken. Like it's it's literally unplayable. Like literally unplayable. It's not like it's you can kind of play it. You cannot play it on an Xbox.
Dang.
It's just that it's that broken.
But yeah, I feel like it's very different, especially I know like even Minecraft for like say Xbox or whatever, like it's limited to a certain amount of blocks to where there's like an edge of the world, whereas in PC it's like almost like never ending, or it's like huge, like you can go whichever direction and keep going. But I remember the Xbox version, it's only a certain set amount you can go, like it's limited to how much it can generate into an area, and you can only play with only, what was it, like 8 friends total?
Yeah, like 8
friends. Or like something like that. Yeah, so they're limited to the amount of people you can play with as well. Rather than a server like on Minecraft, you can go to one that has like 100 or like 200 people in it.
Or like you look at these big minigame ones and they have like hundreds of thousands of people on it once.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely different for sure, compared to PC, especially when it comes to online gaming and stuff. But I guess a good plus that consoles have against PC, which they're kind of shying away from now, is like just playing with multiple people on like the same console.
True.
Like, split screen.
Oh
like,
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, split screen. Yeah.
kind of shying away from that more and more, as you know, because they want more people online. Because nobody, I guess, goes to each other's house and plays video games anymore.
Yeah, it's probably more like our relationship where like we don't live anywhere near each other, so it's not like we can actually do that kind of thing.
Exactly. But
Too about this
co-op.
screen.
Yeah, because like even like the games like there's this one like old Spider-Man game that's like one of my favorites called Spider-Man Friend or Foe.
Yeah.
So it's like where you can one person plays as Spider-Man. Like as you progress through the levels, you unlock more and more of his villains, like Venom, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and all those.
Mm-hmm.
Like where it's not quite split screen, but you're both on the same screen basically, like running around. It's like one of those old games.
Yeah.
There's also like the old I don't know if you remember this movie, but Aragon, like the one with like the dragon riders and stuff. That's really not good.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
It's I wouldn't blame you if you did. It came out like a really long time ago, but the movie was not good. But the game, however, the PS2 game that came out for it was, oh, I loved it. Me and Matthew like would play that all the time together. Even my dad like was like, me and my dad would play it like all the time together. Like I think we like even did like me and him went like through the whole campaign and like beat the game. Like it was back in the days too when you had like official guides for games, like the big booklets.
Oh yeah,
I actually had that. I had a guide like that for that game for Aragon. Like I actually still have it. Like I'm actually like really tempted to like hook up my PS2 and again and like go just play it again. I'm actually gonna get like a capture card, the one that like records like PS2 games, so I can like do like those old PS2 games and stuff.
Yes, that's what they need more of is like how do you say split screen?
Yeah, like split screen or like co-op, like same screen.
Mm.
I think it's like I think the term for it is same screen. So I think the way that consoles are gonna keep up with PCs is that they have like a certain gimmick to them. Like how like the Switch, you can like make it almost like a tablet game mode almost, so you can like take it around with you and stuff. I think that's how games are gonna survive. They got to do that. They got to go like very gimmicky with it, and have like a certain gimmick. Like I bet you, I could see like the new PS5, which is probably gonna come out next year, I would guess. That is gonna have some kind of gimmick or like thing with it where you can like take it anywhere you want to, like Nintendo Switch does.
Yeah, that was a smart move on the Nintendo Switch like part right there, like doing that. It's so fun, like taking it on the go. Just so I could play it in the car or whatever, like that way I could have like at least not be bored.
I see a lot of people bringing it like to like plane rides and stuff, like especially if they're going for like a long flight.
Yes.
Like it'd be really nice for something like that.
Like even when I go pick up Tony, I'd be taking it to like school so I could freaking just sit there and play while I wait for him.
I feel like that's the way they're going to start making their own PCs, or they're gonna go with like gimmicks like that where they can just, you know, basically have something that sets it apart from like other consoles or like stuff the PC can't do.
Yeah,
because PCs unless you have like a laptop, like you can't take it with you really and play it like on the car or anything.
Yeah. Like, what is that thing that PlayStation came out with? The Remote Play? Is that what it is that came out?
I think it's what it's called, yeah.
Came like a couple weeks ago or something like that. I'm like, what the heck? That one's pretty interesting too.
Yeah. If we want, we could do the same topic as mine, the first one, but do it like Save the World edition.
Yeah, I don't mind. I have a lot of bad things to say about that game.
I feel like Save the World used to be a lot more fun in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree.
Before it, I feel like it's gotten like really repetitive at this point.
Yeah, it's true. So I guess when it first started, we were always enemies, like unlocking new weapons or items or characters with new abilities. Then I feel like as soon as you get into like the second stage or like the second area,
Plankerton?
all that goes out the window. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I feel like at that time, I think it was when they hadn't quite updated everything yet. Like it was Candy Valley wasn't quite the Candy Valley it is now, where it had like the storyline, the all the quests and stuff for it. I feel like the problem is I think maybe they got a little too ahead of themselves. Maybe they added things too quickly, like added the new areas without adding like the quests and stuff and all that kind of thing.
I mean, I guess in their defense, technically, isn't Fortnite still in beta or?
Yeah, Fortnite is still in beta. But I mean, I feel like they should set that one up a little bit just because that is the one you pay for. Like,
yeah,
Save the World is $40 basically when it's full price.
Yeah, which is the thing. You're paying all this money, and all that money is not. I feel like it's not even going to save the world. It's going to Battle Royale. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, because I think it's interesting that Save the World used to be like their main mode. And for Battle Royale is gonna be like their kind of secondary mode, like how Save the World is now, I guess.
Yeah. Like they're updating Battle Royale way more than Save the World because I remember at one point everything that was in the Save the World would later show up in Battle Royale, but now it's the other way around. Everything that's in Battle Royale, like character and cosmetic wise, will somehow become a character in Save the World like a week or two, or maybe like a couple weeks in. Like
all the Battle Pass skins become heroes later on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like there's just really not enough variety with the game. Like there's all of it. Like even if like they're all kind of different, they're all really not at the same time because they're all
they're all really the
find
same.
Something, build stuff over it, and trap it, and then defend it for like a certain amount of time.
I mean, and to top it off too, like it's so difficult too, like for a newcomer. Like when I first started,
it takes a lot. It's a big learning curve.
Yes, it is. So no.
And not only that too, but I feel like it's too resource grindy.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Yes.
Like it sucks when you do like 3 games of like, for example, Rescue the Survivor or like build the thing. Just do the base mission and then farm for the entire rest of the game, and then you use something like the like a rescue, like the not Rescue Survivors, like what's it called? Like the one where you gotta defend like the storm thing, basically. And then like all those like the Atlas mission, the Storm Atlas mission. And then but by the time you're done with that one, you've already used all the resources you already gathered from those previous games. Yeah. Everything is just so resource intensive.
Like it's horribly balanced for sure.
And I feel like they're really slow at adding things too, though.
Yeah, I feel like it's been like anything of like significant value, and then when they did it was just like a HUD change for the most part.
And then most recently, it was like the hero system, which I will admit the hero system is quite nice. Like it's kind of nice to be able to put like different perks together and kind of like customize a little bit more. But I feel like they announced it too early, because they announced it like in October of last year, but they didn't put it out till January. Like, they took way too long with it, and they announced it way too early.
Agreed.
And it's like it takes forever for them to do the different things. I feel like they need to add like stuff for more like the end game stuff, like the Twine Peaks, like start adding their storyline in for that.
Yeah.
Because like really for Twine Peaks, there's like, I guess like unless you want to get the specific resources and level up your stuff further, there's not that much. I guess what's the word, like. You don't like you want to get there, but there's really not much to do there. So it's like, what's the point, basically?
It's like almost like pointless to get there. It's more like
unless like, you want to get like the legendary perk and stuff, like perk ups and stuff like that, or like the higher resources. But again, there's like it's just more Twine Peaks is just more of the same, basically. And like especially when, like once you finish, like once you've done like all the storm shields, then there's really nothing to do. You just kind of sit there for a while, and just because like that's something a lot of people want is the ability to redo storm shields, or to have like kind of like an endless wave kind of thing with storm shields.
Yeah.
Like I like those other game modes, like with the winter one, and like the one where you had to defend like everyone else's what are they called? Like their little bases that they made, like when it was in like the desert area. Like I think people want more of that, but more just like for storm shields, basically.
Yeah.
Because once you hit 10, you can't do them again, and it's like there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, and you get a lot of like, I guess, resources from doing those too. Like,
yeah, because you like, I think even like in a candy, you get like 6 mini llamas, I think, which can add like those mini llamas can add up and give you a ton of resources, even just those 6.
Yeah,
it's probably
saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, but you can only do those missions 10 times per area.
Yeah. Hardly agree.
And like they did good by making it like a lot easier to get XP. Like how they up like the rates by like a huge amount than like the last update, but like not the last update, but like the first update I think of this season. But I think that they didn't think of the other stuff to go along with it, like the pure drops of rain and stuff like that, like the other resources that you need to level up stuff. They didn't really scale that with it, so you're getting like a ton of XP, but you're not getting like the other stuff with it.
Yeah, I feel like the scaling in that game is all wonky.
I think they need to balance the. They need to balance adding new content and like fixing older stuff. Like that's a problem with theirs, is they don't balance that stuff very well.
Oh.
It's like
Agreed.
Like they don't add they add new stuff, but they don't add like a lot of
Yeah, I think I just gave up like after Plankerton. Is that the new one?
Canny Valley's the new one.
Oh yeah, Canny Valley. Yeah, I think I gave up after that. I'm like, nope. I don't know. It's too much grind for me.
I really the only reason I went to the end of Canny Valley is just to do the Storm King, which I enjoy doing. The Storm King is nice because it is a pretty good way of doing getting resources, especially if you get into games with people who are like really strong and have like high level items. They can shred through them like really quickly. So it's really like nice and like quick. Like you can do it like really quickly and like get a lot of resources for it, but you can't do like the missions and stuff. Also, because I also wanted the Storm King pin, which I have, of course, now.
Yes, and you wear it every day. Yes.
Actually, I haven't took it out of the package yet. It's still in this little plastic thing.
No.
I'll take it out at some point.
Gotta show it off, my boy. Gotta show it off that you've gone through it.
That was a grind, though, doing all those missions. Like, that's another problem, is that, like, all the missions are also the same, too. It's like, go break this certain item that you can find, and then get like one or several of the needed things for whatever the quest is.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally they'll have like specific like what's it called, like missions you can do with it, but it's not like you can repeat them, and there is still always like the same thing, like either like you build something or you defend things.
Yeah, and there's no
like you go
at all too.
What'd you say?
Variety. Yeah.
Because what was interesting, because at the end of the Canyon Valley questline, they actually kind of teased like in Twine Peaks that they would like how like the first 3 like Plankerton, Plankerton, Canyon Valley, and the other one, which I can't remember the name of right now. They kind of like that one was kind of like they were just like we were just like pushing back the husks basically, where like so they weren't so we weren't dying, but like they kind of teased like in Twine Peaks when they eventually do that, it's going to be like where like the remaining humans are taking the fight to the husks, like to go into their home world. And like, but it's been so long since the end of Canny Valley came out that it's like, when are you ever going to do this?
Yeah.
When are you ever going to give us like the continuation of this quest line. And also, I feel like how everything's been a lot of things have been received with like all the bugs and stuff. Like they've kind of stopped talking to the community basically.
Yeah.
So I think like with all like even like with Battle Royale like all the siphon stuff and like how much hate they got for it. They basically just they've only replied if it's ever like a bug, like if there's a bug that needs fixed. Like they don't just kind of casually reply because like their comments are just gonna be spammed with revert and all that.
Yeah. I guess you can't please everyone, but I feel like there are some things you can do to like help your situation, I guess. And like there's a I feel like people have a general consensus of what they want out of a video game. It's definitely hard to please everyone, but I feel like there's some things you can do to kind of, help.
Yeah.
Like a good majority of people, but it's never going to be for everyone. Like we never know because somebody could have a different opinion. Somebody could just totally love Save the World and how it is right now. We would never know.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like the thing is too is like the people who you usually hear yell out on Twitter and Reddit and stuff. There's like really when you consider the amount of people that are that like actually played the game, it's they're the vocal minority of the game. Like they may be vocal about it, but they're nowhere near like the full player base of the whole thing.
Yeah. That's how it is. But Fortnite sees it as well, unless like a huge number of people are like outraged or make a big deal about something. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. They're just going to keep doing everything their way, honestly.
But then you look at stuff like Siphon, and like they've made like a huge thing with it, but they clearly haven't reverted it yet. Like I get why they haven't reverted, because just like I feel like they feel like they're just like peddling too much. They're complying too much with what the community wants.
And
they're just
because
like,
I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying?
Oh, you go first. You go first.
I was just gonna say that because technically it is their game, so whoever made the game, it's however they want to make it. It's their vision. They want to make it some way, but I don't know.
Yeah. Because like, do you know who Mr. Beast is, right, Prince?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was this story a while back from it wasn't that long ago, but basically there was this fake Mr. Beast on Twitch, and he like super chatted, I guess whatever the version of that is for Twitch, and he told this kid that if he broke his computer, he would buy him like a much more expensive one, like it was like a $1,200 computer. He was gonna buy him like a $5,000 one. Yeah. So he did actually end up breaking because he thought it was the real Mr. Beast. Because he does do things like that sometimes. Maybe not that destructive. Maybe not something like that's destructive, but you know what I mean. But
yeah.
And Mr. Beast is like, like I'm not gonna pay for and buy this kid another computer because this is gonna start a precedent of if a fake me does something and causes other people damage, people are gonna expect me to pay for it and fix it, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's where kind of Fortnite is. Like if like they feel like maybe we've been set this precedent too much with where if our community doesn't like things, we immediately change it, and maybe they think they're doing too much of that. They're peddling too much to the to people, or like their fan base too much.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Or like peddling too much towards their consumer, because technically we are the consumer, and if they keep us happy, they'll keep making more money. But I don't know, like.
But then at one point, do you ruin your integrity of the game? Like, what point does your integrity just go out the window and you just comply to everything that your audience wants?
It is. That's how it is. We got a lot of
Got a lot of what? Cut out there.
A lot of vent. We vented our frustrations. You know.
Save the world.
The Fortnite. Yeah.
Right. Mostly, it was a lot about Fortnite. I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot of
No,
Fortnite.
it was because I feel like I feel like Fortnite has definitely changed. Really, like it's definitely not what it used to be.
Agreed. Very, very true.
I hate Fortnite.
We should just vote. We should all just pledge to uninstall after this season.
I want to see
No,
I want to see what this next season is, and then
Oh, that's how they get you, Jim.
yeah,
That's how they
I
get
know. I know that is how they get me, but still.
you.
I would uninstall, but I spent so much money on
True.
it.
That's another point. I have spent, and it's recently too. It's pretty recently too. So it's kind of like
No.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to make that money a waste, basically.
Yeah,
Yes, I guess
I'm just
that
gonna keep
makes
playing
sense.
until it dies down. I was there when it started. I'll go down.
We'll
with
go
it.
down with the ship.
Yes,
Oh God, no.
that's how
No.
loyal I am.
No. We shouldn't be like this. We're being loyal to the wrong cause.
But,
Yeah, but think
again,
about
but when there's money involved,
Yeah,
you gotta
think about
kind
it.
of when you spend money, you gotta be loyal with it.
But think
Oh,
about
I
it. If you
know what you
if you
mean.
got a car crash, you're not gonna like just dump it and get another car. You're gonna
True.
fix it up or take
Well,
it to insurance.
It depends on how bad the car wreck is and what the car.
That is
what-
true. That is true. But right
and, like,
now,
what happened with the
Fortnite
cars.
has a dent right now. They have a little dent. All right, so we could write it out. All right, with a little insurance, we should be good.
I know.
There is no insurance. There is no insurance.
True.
No, we have insurance because if we sell our account later on and we'd be
True.
like, this is worth $210 because we have
We
like
have
stuff
all that
from
money we
season
put
3.
all that money we've put in.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what kind-
yeah,
out of
see?
all the money we put into it, and
I feel like it's a very investment.
it's a definitely an investment, but maybe not the greatest investment.
You'd agree. I guess you're at this time you're just minimizing your losses and hoping for a good profit.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Let me
When
think
really you
that.
have no other option.
Yeah,
If I think
guess.
I'm making money out of it, I'll make money out of it.
All right. I'm gonna give you my account information, Jose, so you can sell it for me when that time comes.
I will. I'll sell it for 200.
Yes.
Oh, I think you could probably sell his for more because it has like all the
Oh yeah, because
all the save the world stuff.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
he's
true.
bought like the really expensive version of Save the World.
that is true.
Oh, true.
The Bazaway has spent so much money on it.
You're right. Over $700. You right.
You right?
You right.
Kind of amazing how much people have spent on Fortnite though.
No, and honestly, this was my first ever game that I've spent like real like money on, and I'm kind of sad.
Yeah, like at least this much I have because like there has been like a couple of games in the past like before that where I have spent like actual
Okay.
money on it.
Yeah, but think about it this way, you guys. We did not spend like at least like $500 on packs like Apex. Like you know how people spend like 500
True.
or like almost $1,000 just to get like their certain heirloom set. Like we did not spend that much.
Yeah,
And that game's dying already too. Just pointing that out.
yeah. I honestly I do think I think the problem is like Fortnite while it has it basically has like it updates every week, which maybe at this point might be a bit too much. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, they're making it a lot harder on themselves to fix bugs and stuff. I feel like Apex does not update enough.
Yeah, and there's no freaking solos or squad like duos to do it with. Like I don't want to play with a trio every time.
Well, actually, I kind of saw this in a video. It's kind of an interesting thing about maybe why they don't and may not ever. It's because of the when you think about it, like basically them having legends with separate with abilities makes
Yeah.
it too hard to do duos and solos. Just because like it like if they were all the point why like like Fortnite can do it is because you all start on an even playing ground. Like it's all just loot and building. But with Apex, there are like each character has like certain abilities and like there are probably gonna be ones that are like OP abilities that would work really well in solos, but yeah, like are too OP to be in solos, basically.
Yeah.
So like because they have like heroes with abilities and stuff, it's never gonna work with the solos or duos.
That's why they messed up on like I like it and all, but I just don't like doing trios. I mean, we have the trios, don't get me, but
Yeah.
sometimes when Prince is in here, I don't want rando. Wait.
But I feel like again though the problem is with that is that their heroes with abilities what made them kind of it's what made the game different than other games, but at the same time it's also kind of screwed them. It's the same way with Fortnite and building. It's made them very different than other battle royale games, but at this point it screwed them over because now building has become a pain in the ass to deal with.
Oh yes.
Because like the skill gap with building has become basically just too high. Like you gotta like practice for like hours and hours a day every day just to get to the point where everyone like where all like the sweaties and like Twitch streamers and like pro tryhards are. It's gotten to the point where it's just annoying to deal with.
Yes, it is. Freak.
Like we were saying last night, if we wanted to really get good at it, we should have gotten good like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like we should have gotten good like in practice like that like season 4. That's where we basically screwed up is because we didn't get good then. I feel like, again,
There's no way of us knowing too.
True. Like we had no idea we were gonna have to get that.
Yeah, it was gonna
like,
take off.
Not exactly take off, but like or at least get that sweaty. Get to the point where it's like really hard to
enjoy the game.
Yeah, without having to be really good at it. Which is actually kind of why I wanted to do this podcast in the first place, because I feel like we are good at like we are good at games, but we're not like pro level. Like you know, like you look at a lot of YouTubers now, where it's like you got to be kind of either really good at the game to be like like a gaming YouTuber, basically.
Yeah.